It's been a rough week, let me tell you. I'm just glad to be here. I have been here all week quarantining. So yeah, I have COVID. So I got sick Wednesday and then pretty much felt like death Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I had a test on Thursday. Just got my results last night that were positive. So I'm going to try to do. I'm feeling better though. Just still a little weak and a little, have a cough. So I'm going to see how far we get tonight. And rather than try to dream up a big project this week, I thought, well, I'm just going to try to finish some things that I've started and see if I can get one or two things out of the way in that regard. And other than that, I'm just really happy just to be here and talk with you this Tuesday. So the first thing I'm gonna take a look at, do you remember my dog Grizz's food container? Well, I finally did the Harlequin thing around it, but tonight I want to personalize it. So I'm using these decor stamps, and these are from Redesign with Prima. No, they're not. Yes, they are. They're from Redesign with Prima, but these are the alphabet stamps, and or they're just called Alpha, and they have uppercase and lowercase. So I'm going to put the screen down and show you what I'm doing here. Just like I said, we're going to try and see how far we make it tonight. If I start coughing, I'm going to stop. But so I have the letters G-R-I-Z spelled out. My dog's name is Grizz, so there's two Z's, but I just laid the letters out. Now you probably can't see that, but I'm going to use this clear sheet and lay it over top of that, and these will stick to it. My Z is a little crooked. I'm going to fix that. And then I'm just going to use some paint. So I'll fix the second Z on there as soon as I get the opportunity. But we'll just be doing this across here, and it'll spell Grizz. So I'm going to get some paint here and give this a whirl. So normally you can use ink to do this. And you know what? I do have ink, just not right in front of me though. I kind of wanted to do it in red anyway. I do have red ink, but I'm not getting up at this point. I'm going to work with what I have. So can you see what I'm doing here? I'm putting, hope you can see. I'll try to move it over here a little bit, but I'm just putting some red paint on these letters, and then I'm going to stamp them on here. So I hope you guys are having a good week so far. Like I said, it's just super good to be able to talk. I've been blessed to, have my sister to talk to on the phone, and, a couple friends messaging, and so blessed at the store. Oh my gosh, Dee is holding down the fort this week. So I appreciate it so much. So I just fortunate to have good friends and people around me, and I really appreciate it. So, okay, enough of that. Okay, so I have that on there. So I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can see it. And I have to remember, I just lost my R. That's okay. I'm going to go ahead and I got to remember there's another Z coming on there. So, trying not to shift these letters. This thing isn't full of food, so it's not very heavy. This is one of those times when I should have maybe done what they say freestyle and just used each individual letter. You know what? Okay, it's not too late. I'm going to pull it back and do that. So bear with me here a second. I'm just going to take each individual letter and stamp it. I'm going to repaint it here. And I can pretty much see where my G was. So I'm holding that up against there. Hopefully we get a good impression. Okay, you see the G? All right, let's do the same thing with the R. Okay. Just hold that up against there. And when I'm using Streamlabs, I can't see any comments. So if you comment, I will definitely catch up later with you. All right, let's get this eye. I don't want to get my sleeve in the paint. So not that there's any other dog around here, but now Grizz will know that's his container. Not like he can open it anyway. We have to get it for him. But I guess you knew that, right? All right, we got the eye on there. Let's get one Z. This is not making a real crisp impression. I might go back over it just once I have the impression on there with a little bit more paint with a finer tip brush. Okay. There's one Z. And let's do another Z. I feel like I'm on Sesame Street here. So our dog was a rescue dog, and that was his name when we got him, and we didn't want to change it. I love to hear my granddaughter say his name. She calls him Giz. So, I'm going to touch that up a little bit, but I actually think that looks pretty good. Can you see that? I'm going to move it up a little bit. Okay. I'm going to touch it up just a tad. I think I'll try using this brush. So, you know, my son was so nice to me today, and I asked him to pick up an order of groceries for me, I placed, and so he said sure, and so he picks it up, and before he left, I'm like, hey, don't go. I knew it wasn't my order, and so because of the fact that I have COVID, I called the store. They did not take the other order back, so we got my order and that order, so we got a little free food today. All right, there, can you see that? Grizz. I like it. I'm pretty happy with it. So, as long as Grizz is, then that's all that counts. So I'm going to set that aside, and I have a bag here with a brush. Now the next project I I started, I believe, last week. And I didn't get too far, and I'll have to tell you how things went with that. Sorry about my hand. That's the best way to put that up. Okay. I'm going to take a little drink here so I don't start coughing. Okay, so remember last week I tried to bleach this flannel shirt. Well, all week long I kept picking at it. So remember I put the lace on the bottom, which I'm real happy with that. But this is what ended up happening in the back. So I kept trying. It kind of looks like a heart, and I'll show you the stencil that I was using. So I kept trying different ways, and it didn't happen. So we're going to improvise. The other thing, too, is these pockets that I don't like. We're going to do something with them, too. So I'll put this down here, and I'll actually put one of these plastic sheets underneath it. But what I'm going to do here is take the stencil that I originally used to try to transfer. So the idea was I was using this kind of homemade bleach pen. It was half bleach, half water, and a watercolor pen. Well, that didn't do anything. I don't know whether it's this shirt, whether the dye in it is just so strong, but finally I used straight up bleach today. But it made like a real like kind of cloudy area around it. So I'm just going to put this down again so you can see what I'm planning on doing. So this section that I'm working with, it's what I've been working with here. This is right here. So there was this middle purple line that I was kind of going with. Let me see. Hope you can see that. Well, I had lined up my stencil with that middle purple line. So even though it didn't really transfer right, what I'm going to do is still line it up with that. If I get it going right. Wait, I think it's like this. I'm going to try to line it up with that. And then I'm just going to stencil, because now I have sort of a cloud. And the colors in this shirt, it has black in it. It has some light blue. It has purple. So I'm just going to use black, and I'm going to just stencil that design over top of that bleached area. And we'll see what happens. Hey, no harm, no foul. I've had this shirt forever. And, you know, finally it was just one of those things. I'm just doing something fun with it. So I'm getting a piece of paper out here because I don't want to have a lot of paint on my brush. I want to offload some of it. So again, I have this stencil all lined up over top of where it was before, because I just kind of have this rough bleached out area now. And instead of trying to, you know, use a stencil or something that's made on a Cricut or a Silhouette or something, sublimation to put a design on here, I'm just going to use a stencil. And I believe this is also a redesign with Prima stencil. I like it because it's nice and thick. So I may come back in later and just use either a sprayer bottle or just like just kind of drop some droplets of bleach on here to give it some more spots. Again, this was all a first time experiment for me, and I love these bleached flannel shirts, but I might just leave that to the bleached flannel professionals and have this as my taste of it. but I'm really enjoying doing this. But I am definitely putting my own flavor on it because I'm going to show you some other embellishments that I have for it too. So tomorrow I was supposed to go on around the Alleghenies and film my segment, but with the COVID I can't, so it's now being done on a Zoom call. So I'll be doing that from home tomorrow. And hopefully Grizz will be as nice and quiet as he is right now. During the day, you never know what you're going to get with the mailman, and supposed to have a water delivery. And let's see. So, all right. So let me lift up this stencil and see what we've got. I hope this looks cute. Oh, I like it. I do. Okay. I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. You see that? Kind of went right over that bleachy spot. So I'm pretty happy with that. So hold that thought. Okay. All right, so I like what happened with the stencil. So I can already tell I'm not going to be able to stay on too much longer because I feel the cough coming. So the other thing that I want to do with it, I got this at a flea market. I'm going to put the screen back up so you can see. I got this at a flea market. And I thought it was really cute. So I started cutting it up. And I cut some of these little flowers out. And I thought these would be really cute to embellish this just a little bit more. So not 100% sure about the back yet, but I think that I'd like to put a couple of them like on the back. Along with that, I think that would be cute. But the other thing that I want to do, I'm going to flip it over here. So I think I told you last week about the flaps. See this? I hate how these things wrinkle, and I'm really not one that's going to be ironing my flannel shirt. So I already cut the flap off of this side. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it off of this side. The scissors that I have are not the best, so I may struggle with this a minute. First of all, I'm going to struggle finding them. I hid them. But I'm just going to cut this flap off. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take a strip of this lace, and this is exactly what we used last week, which is Fabri-Tac from Beacon. And I'm just going to glue on this lace trim. So as soon as I figure out the right side, I fold it a little bit underneath, and I'm just gluing it right along the top of that flap. This stuff is really awesome. It grabs very quickly, and it makes a great hold. And you can wash it You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to sew over it or anything. Really good stuff. I just kind of went ahead and did a real long line there. Have to remember to fold this end under. Okay. There, that's cute, and it's going to be much better than me worrying about those flaps, because I sure don't want to iron them. I always liked this shirt, and I don't know what I got away from wearing it. Well, I see a couple reasons. I, end up painting in all my clothes, so I can see that I got some paint on here. So that's going to be a really good opportunity to try out this little flower design. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Let me see. Would I rather have blue? Oh, that blue's kind of cute. Let's see. I don't know whether I'm going to put it on both pockets or just on one. I think I just like this little... You know what? I am going to do the two of them. Indecision, right? There. Just laying it out. That's what I'm doing. Okay, so... I'm strategically covering paint. And I bet you this will be one of those things where people will say, oh my gosh, your shirt's really cute. So if that's the case, then you saw how we made it. If not, they're just going to say, oh, it's really weird. Okay, so I think that looks pretty cute on there. Let me glue the other lace piece on here. This was the lace that was left, and I had just cut it in half, so assuming that's just enough for each side here. It's raining a little bit here this evening. Nice gentle rain though, nothing crazy. Just gonna go ahead and put that the whole way across again. I'm using a generous line of it. And what you can see. You know, it really feels good to be actually doing something like this. Just been laying around pretty much all week. Very surreal. Watching a lot of YouTube. Watching the news story unfold. Unfortunate. All right, so I'm gonna hold this up a second. I'll move the camera up, and then I'm just gonna hold this up. And that's what we're looking at for the front pockets. I may trim that, or else glue that under a little bit, because it seems like it's really loose. But I think that's cute. And now let's look at the back a minute. And that's what we have going on there. And I'm just going to glue on what we have left as far as these flowers go, and I can always do some more. I'll just inspect it later and see if I want to add anything else to it. So a friend of mine said, "What is that behind your head?" So he said it looked like some, I don't know, flying saucer type thing or something. But anyway, it's a lamp. In case anyone has ever wondered that, that's what that is. Okay. I think I'm going to layer this other one right here because I can always cut more out from the other side and do some more if I decide I want to put some elsewhere. Like I said, just kind of playing around with this and having some fun with it. I just love how fast this glue dries. Now, I definitely want to heat set this stencil on here for sure. The whole thing, I did the bleach this afternoon and I used a blow dryer on it, but probably want to use an iron. And I guess peroxide stops the bleaching, but I wouldn't even mind if it bleached a little bit more. Now that I have my little design on here, I'm gonna put this up again. What do you think? I think it's looking really cute, and I'll tell you what I'll do is I promise you I will actually, not now, and again, pardon my hand, but I promise you I will model later on. Now, another fun thing happened today. This came in the mail, and this is for an upcoming project that is so exciting. I'm excited about. So that's going to be a surprise. Listen, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate everything you do. If you would please watch anything you can from my channel right now, that would be awesome, because I'm about ready to get monetized. I just need about 100 more hours of watch time. So that would be awesome if you were able to watch a little bit and help a girl out. So thank you again for everything you do, and you have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.